Israeli generals are extremely worried, and for consecutive weeks, none of them has barely slept. The Army Chief of Staff, Itzhak Rabin, apparently lost it. Under such pressure, suffered a mental breakdown. The enemy, Egyptian dictator Gamal Abdel Nasser, ordered United Nations' first ever peacekeeping mission out of the Sinai Peninsula. Considering the imminent attack, the Rhodes military was scared away, just like a street pigeon. Only recently Israel claimed independence and desperately had to survive through dry, tiny, widely boycotted, deeply indebted. While Syria was cutting Israel's vital water supply, Egypt was cutting Israel's vital southern maritime commerce. From the double casus belli forward, the countdown to the war has started. Egypt and Syria joined forces with Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and the Kingdom of Morocco, all united shouldering the task. Declared military objective: to feed the Mediterranean fish with Jewish flesh. All the Arabs had to do is to push less than 10 miles downhill from Tulkarem, and it's done. If all those big nations combined wasn't trouble enough, the world superpower of the time, the Soviet Union, was gearing up to join the massive Arab armies in the fighting to come. Just to give you a perspective, the blue on the map is Israel. Yes, here. And this is Tulkarem. Memories of the European Holocaust were still very, very fresh. And yet, once again, the shadow of death is hovering over the Jews. 2 million Israelis and hundreds of thousands of Jews living inside many Arab nations find themselves under imminent extermination threat. Generals are searching for a way out. And then it happens. What is that? I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No need to introduce yourself. So now you decided to show up? Our people are desperately crying for help during thousands of years and nothing. I did listen to all their prayers, but only now it's time to intervene. Therefore, you are to crush your enemies like no other army has ever prevailed before, because 4,000 years ago, I promised by my name that this land is forever to become your land. Okay, God, then do your thing. Amen. Amen. Leaving only 8 fighter jets to defend the beloved homeland, the entire Israeli Air Force took off and secretly headed on a dangerous 30-feet altitude flight, roaring the turbines undetected. Also while flying over densely populated areas such as the Nile Delta. The Jordanians did notice the movement and did alert Egyptian air controllers well in advance. But the encrypted codes were changed during the previous day and weren't understood. So in that precise and unpredictable window of opportunity, the Israeli jets got close enough in order to rise thousands of feet high, turn into their bellies, and dive at 7:45 a.m. Total surprise was achieved. Most Egyptian MiG jets and Tupolev bombers never had the chance to take off and fight. Nasser urged Iraq, Syria, Lebanon and Jordan to attack immediately, because now Israeli skies are exposed. True, Israel could not oppose such attack, so right then and there, great victory was presented to the Arabs on a golden tray. But instead of going for the military infrastructure, their genocidal aspirations spoke stronger, and the bombing was dropped over the civilian population. Ironic smile from up high above. On June 5, 1967, the Arab genocidal impulse actually became the very feeling that saved millions of Jews. Our civilian population was protected inside deep fortified bunkers, and when Israeli pilots returned from the successful strike over Egypt, they found their vulnerable airfields still intact. So they landed, refueled, reloaded ammunition at a record speed of 7 minutes in order to scramble once again and destroy the remaining Arab airfields. But this time there wasn't a surprise effect. Israel had to dogfight its way through 4 open, decisive, simultaneous battles against 4 combined air forces. And yet, the results remained very similar to the results achieved during the same morning. Just like that, 400 enemy planes were destroyed with a cost of only 19 Israeli losses, an amazing ratio of more than 21 to 1. By the time the sun set over the Mediterranean Sea, Israel already ruled the skies,